Hello everyone, and welcome back to Act 2 of Snatcher. Let's get started. There's a lot of things we'll need to go through, so there's no purpose in staring at a blank screen.
Okay, let's try to sort all this out. Metal Gear, would you mind helping out?
Not at all. Now projecting recorded video images.
Gibson calls in and you two immediately head for the abandoned factory in the M District. But when you arrived, Gibson had already been killed by someone, or something at the factory. From hair and skin samples recovered from his body, you determined that the perpetrators were two snatchers, one male and one female. In addition, from a floppy disk containing notes from Gibson's investigation, you discovered that snatchers have a crucial defect. Gibson was apparently killed because he had learned about this weak point. And this weak point is a key difference between them and real humans. Their artificial skin cannot tolerate ultraviolet rays. Long-term exposure causes it to become cancerous, a form of melanoma. This severely limits the places and times that they can operate to midwinter, when daylight hours are their shortest, and of course at night. And it looks as if it will take at least 6 months for them to develop a new skin which overcomes this fault. So their biggest weak point was that they had to keep themselves protected from ultraviolet rays over the past 6 months. Gibson really put his earlier training as a science cop to good use in figuring this one out. And that's why they use plenty of sunscreen, even in the middle of the winter. As a result of this, it becomes clear that there is one thing they must have to continue their survival. And that is medical facilities, where they can treat artificial skin which has become cancerous. And it appears that Gibson may have located a hospital used for this very purpose. In an effort to determine where Gibson had been investigating, you analyzed his stomach contents, found buffalo meat, and headed to the only place in the city that serves it, Outer Heaven. Isabella Velvet, a dancer at this place, gives you a description, which allows you to put together a montage of the man Gibson was trying to track down. You then ran this montage through the city's databank, using Jordan. And that gave you two suspects, Ivan Rodriguez and Freddie Nielsen. But from the condition of Ivan's skin, you determined that there was no possibility he could be a snatcher. There was no evidence at all of melanoma. But as he was in possession of liquid sky, you turned him over to narcotics. Following that, a search of Freddie Nielsen's home turned up large quantities of sunscreen. Nielsen's wife, Lisa Nielsen, turns out to be a snatcher, and you dispose of her. And you confirm that the skin cells found under Gibson's nails were from Lisa. Freddie Nielsen also turns out to be a snatcher, and you dispose of him as well. The hair sample that was found in Gibson's hand is confirmed as being from Freddie. So you are able to determine that these two snatchers, Freddie and Lisa, were the ones who killed Gibson. But then we have a problem. The bounty hunter who saved you, Seed, Random Hajil. An investigation uncovers that the information he provided when he filled out his bounty hunter registration was completely false. So who is this guy? Friend or foe?
What about the bank account he was having his bounty deposited into?
It was a common account used for paying bounty, and the funds were retransferred from there. We couldn't learn anything from it. Thank you, Metal. And now for the real fun. The hospital that Gibson had tracked down. If we can hit that, we may be able to shut down this snatch operation of theirs. Or if we can find some kind of patient records there, we may be able to find them quite easily.
So, Little John's memory might provide us with an important lead.
That's right. If we're lucky, there may be something left that we can work with. Navigators record everything their junkers do, just in case.
Just in case, huh? Well, this looks like one of those cases.
Harry should have recovered it by now. Go see how he's doing. Seed, I'm counting on you to find this hospital.
Well, that was quite a significant recap, but considering how long ago I recorded this, which was about a week or so, it was a necessity. But yeah, Act 2 begins with a recap of the first act, and a very important one because it also reminds us of certain things that we might have missed, and allows us to know of certain things that we totally didn't know. Like, for example, that our friend Random Hair Geel is not quite what he appears to be. But I mean, with a name like that, I think everybody caught on to that. Let's pay a visit to Harry.
About time you got here, Gillian. I've got Little John's memory all ready for you.
Well, were you able to get anything from it?
Just relax. I'll put it on the monitor for you now. I'm afraid it was almost completely destroyed beyond recovery. Those snatchers, they sure do a thorough job.
What do you mean? Wasn't there anything left?
Like I said, just relax. I was able to get one video image out of it. I don't have the slightest what this is, but it's definitely got something to do with Jean's investigation. This is it. So, Gillian, do you have any idea what this is?
Hospital Olean? This is almost certainly the Snatcher-controlled hospital that Gibson was looking for.
You ought to run the name through Jordan, but if that hospital is not legit, the data won't mean anything. This city is packed with unregistered hospitals.
The sign in this picture looks curved. This word Olean might continue past the edge of the image.
I've stored this image. You can view it at any time. Just use the graphic memory command in the possessions menu.
Alright, so now we have a lead. Hospital Olean. People who played this game already will know for a fact that this is not quite enough to get anywhere, but we won't spoil the surprise. Harry suggested we check the hospital using the Jordan system, but the Jordan system doesn't offer a hospital search function. Really? Why don't we ask Napoleon? Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, why don't we ask him? He might be able to help us out. But since I've been able to get a hold of internet connection once again, I've read up a bit more about this game, and wouldn't you know it, the Japanese version is not only older, but also significantly different. For one, playing the Sega CD version of Snatcher is a much better idea because you get the complete game. Yeah, I don't know why, but apparently Kojima, or whoever was behind this particular idea, thought it would be nice to split off the last act of his game into its own separate game, which they kind of did with another game called SD Snatcher, which well, it's something. But yeah, they decided that was a kind of a dumb idea for this thing, so they put it back for the Sega CD. In the originals, which came out for the PC-88 and MSX2, they didn't have Act 3, so this time around we won't have to go to a different game just to be able to finish the story. Thank fuck. What was Napoleon's number again? You really should have memorized by now. Look, buddy, I was hibernating for like a week. It's 39, 56, 44. Repeat after me. 39, 56, 44. And don't forget those secret passwords. What, you again? Sorry, you'd prefer a woman, I suppose. Whatever. How about giving me the password? Okay. So now he's saying the revolution. think it was the revolution has ended. I forget. Oh, it is. Alright, you pass. But we can't talk on the video phone. I'll meet you in the usual place. That's fine. What are you gonna do? Well, we're not gonna use the phone, that's for sure. There's also a few other differences. I also checked the Jordan records, because there is a convenient list of all available names to search on Jordan. And they do have some of the developers available on this thing. Unfortunately, I can't remember any of their names, but apparently some of them also includes numbers you can call for little Easter eggs. I, of course, don't happen to have these either, not at the moment. But unfortunately, Solid Snake is not among the people we can call, which sucks, but I mean, we already figured that out last time. What's wrong, Gillian? You look depressed. Is your investigation not going well? Nah, I'm pretty good. Neo Kobe is a surprising town. Everybody's going about their lives so frantically. I know what you mean. Some people call this city a dump, but it seems so much more alive to me than other places. Well, depends on who you ask, really. If you ask a Snatcher, he probably wouldn't say that it's very alive. Yes, he probably wouldn't be able to tell what the fuck that means. Bounty hunter, eh? Can you trust people like that? He sounds really fake, like someone out of a novel, you know? Yeah, seriously. Interesting name. Though in the Japanese version, he was known as Randam Hajil. I don't know why. Olean, huh? I've never heard of any hospital like that. It's kind of interesting that they have a problem with unregistered hospitals. You'd think that wouldn't be an issue, but apparently it is. There's not a lot of places you can go to. You can go to your apartment or the plaza. Let's go to the plaza, because that's where we need to be. Gotta meet that Napoleon. He gotta tell us some shit. Also, and, yeah. Must not forget the most interesting factoids about this game. Like, for example, did you know that Lisa Nielsen, in the Japanese version, when you shoot her brains out, her Snatcher brains out, she appears topless for no particular reason. Of course, this was not shown on the Sega CD version because America is a very Christian environment which does not approve of bare nipple. But shooting people is perfectly fine. Additionally, since we're talking about women, Katrina's the daughter of Gibson in the Japanese version is not just 18, therefore perfectly reasonable to talk to and, well, be awkward around, but 14 is instead. And this probably has something to do with Japan's age of consent, but I'm not particularly interested to know anything about that. There might be a few other things that I'm missing, but yeah. The whole city is decked out in Christmas spirit. Christmas is just around the corner. What are your plans for Christmas? Maybe sometime with Jamie. I don't really know. You don't have any firm plans yet, do you? Afraid not. Don't worry, I won't let you spend Christmas alone. If nobody else is available, let's spend Christmas together. Christmas with you, it'll be my first. Only in a worst case scenario, you know. Christmas with you is the worst case scenario. Oof. Wait a minute, that is a very interesting Santa Claus. Even Santa Claus is here. What about that Santa Claus? A man dressed as Santa Claus is handing out tissues as an advertisement. That's Santa Claus. What's wrong? Probably just my imagination. Shall we check him out? Yeah, let's have a closer look. Many such promotional Santa Clauses appear this time of the year. That's true, but that one... one in particular, he looks like a fucking bastard. Let's have a closer look.
Wait a minute, you're no Santa.
How'd you guess?
What are you doing in that outfit?
What are you talking about? I'm quitting this job. It's too dangerous. Somebody's after me. I'm gonna end up dead, just like Gibson.
Oh, I see. Yep, that's Napoleon there. That's why you didn't get the prompt to wait for him. He's in disguise. A Chinese Santa, eh? Somehow you just don't fit the image. Well, I'm so sorry to disappoint you. Anyway, let's get to the point, eh? I need some information about underground hospitals. Besides all of the legit hospitals, there are scores of those underground places all over the city. You'll never be able to find them all. Yeah, but I'm looking for a specific one. You might be able to learn something about those illicit operations by checking up on pharmaceutical orders. After all, almost all of the drugs used on the island are manufactured here as well. That's right. All of the pharmaceuticals on the island are distributed or manufactured by Kobe Pharmaceuticals, which, if you may remember from our last recording session, or just a few parts ago actually, our ex-wife Jamie is working in this company, so we may have a lead. Exactly, Gillian, that's where Jamie works. And she keeps track of records of shipments of pharmaceuticals throughout the island. She might be able to find something. We'll give her a call later. Anyway. Show the video memory of Little John. Olean Hospital. Yeah? You know anything? Why don't we take care of business, huh? Yeah, okay. Okay, I see how it is. There you go. You got a cold there, Napoleon? Some kind of allergy, I guess. I always get this way in the winter. An allergen that only operates in the winter. That could be Snow 9, you know. One can always pick up traces of Snow 9 wherever Snatchers appear. It's a sneezing. It just goes on and on. You know, I know about this thing. I hate it. I fucking hate it. It just happens, and you have no idea what's going on. Might not be the one you're looking for, but I know an Olean hospital. Yeah? I'm not doing this for fun, you know. Oh, god damn it, I just paid you. Here you go. Just as greedy as ever, eh? Take it. He probably spent all of that money just to pay off whatever companies he needs to pay off, just to remain anonymous. So, it's probably to be considered. I don't know too much about it, but it's over in the RF district. Why don't you go check it out? Sure. And the Snow 9? It's a man-made strain that was developed by the military years ago as a defensive weapon to help protect bases and the like. But wasn't all of it disposed of long ago? Yes, but I hear talk that somebody started cultivating it again about 3 years ago. 3 years ago? That's about the same time the Snatchers first appeared.
Alright, I've had it. Don't call me anymore, okay?
Wait a minute, Napoleon. I'll keep any Snatchers off your back.
They're after both of us. You better worry about watching your own back. Oh, by the way, here. A little Christmas present for you.
What? Tissues?
See ya. Merry Christmas.
Well, now he's gone.
No surprise there. He's got plenty of reason to be scared. Besides, I got the information I needed.
There's an advertisement on the back of that pack of tissues.
This is an ad for outer heaven. Just how many different jobs does that guy have?
Interesting clue. But yes, from here you may make a very accurate guess that Napoleon is also working in Outer Heaven. In fact, we've met him a couple of times already there. You might be wondering, did we? I can't recall seeing him there. Is he the manager, maybe? No. He's the door guy. Yeah, he's the guy with the fucking dog mask. We'll get to a point later in the game where he is, shall we say, exposed. But yeah, he is the guy at the door greeting you in. He's pretty good at it too. So why are we going back to Junker HQ? Well, I wanted to brush up a little bit on Snatcher information, actually, because this is something I forgot to look up. It's not entirely necessary, but it is useful to know more about the enemy. So let's go to facts. Let's go to Snatcher facts. Don't need anything about insectors, we know everything about them already. They're small, they're annoying, they wanna kill you. So let's read up a bit about the Snatchers, so that we understand them better. After all, our investigation from here is gonna get a bit trickier. Snatcher characteristics. Snatchers operate almost exclusively at night and during the winter months. We know that. Snatchers only snatch VIPs. Their ultimate goal appears not to be the snatch itself, but some secondary effect of it. That's important to know. After all, as the freeman of the last session mentioned, why would they bother attacking them? Free Snatchers' targets are restricted by their physical size. While they can adjust the size of their major body areas, these adjustments are limited. As such, their victims are exclusively persons of 150 to 180 centimeters in height. This makes snatching of children, the elderly, and others impossible. Snatcher weapons involve a mouth-firing laser cannon. Their weak point, thin slit portions of their skull armor, which makes head size adjustments possible. Snatcher's artificial skin becomes cancerous when exposed to ultraviolet rays for extended periods. Snatchers employ bioengineered crystal form of pollen known as Snow9 as a type of electronic camouflage because of its disruptive effect on electromagnetic radiation, such as radio signals. And a little bit of their history. December 22nd, 2044. First contact. Bioroid's remains are recovered from the wreckage of SRS Flight 4003, which crashed in the Rocco mountain range. February 18th, 2045. Snatcher, which had killed and replaced the mayor of Neokobe, B. O'Connor, is captured but self-destructs during transport. In December, Neokobe is thrown into a panic over the problem. The witch hunts take place as people try to uncover and destroy imagined snatchers. Funny how that happens again, the witch hunts and all that. November 3rd, 2047. Well-known KBC newscaster is revealed to be a snatcher and terminated. The remains self-destruct, preventing further analysis. November 15th, 2047. The leader of a prominent revolutionary religious group is determined to be a snatcher. During the pursuit, the snatcher's car crashes, destroying it in the resulting fire. Whispers of Aloha Snagbar could be heard in the distance. November 20th, 2047, the former president of a biotechnology firm is uncovered as a snatcher and terminated. Oh no! Could it be Mark Zuckerberg? Maybe. During transport, the remains are stolen. Well, that fucking sucks, doesn't it? In order to elicit civilian support in the effort to combat snatchers, and, well, to curb the idea of witch hunting, the government instituted the following reward program. All eligible voters of Neo Kobe were given the right to register as bounty hunters. Registration involves a few simple tests and procedures: firearm license, psychological profile, chunker test, etc. Actual rewards for Snatcher termination depend on individual circumstances. Government also provides numerous insurance benefits for those injured or killed while attempting to terminate a Snatcher. Yes. And that's good enough for us. Now that we've brushed up on our Snatcher lore, let's get the fuck out of here. We really didn't need to do this, but I thought it would be nice. It also helps us out because now we know, for the time being at least, a little bit more about how Snatchers operate. Specifically, that they don't pick just anyone. Let's go for all-in. You know what we're missing in this car? A radio, to play some kickin' tunes. Oh well. We've arrived at Olean Hospital. What would you like to do? This is the Olean Hospital that Napoleon told us about. You can see that it looks kind of like the place we were looking for, according to Little John's memory, but it's not quite right. Let's have a look around. There is a neon sign on the roof of the building. The entrance appears to be at the front. No shit. Really has the atmosphere of an illicit hospital. I wonder what they specialize in. There are no signs or anything. That's because it's one of them illicit places. The lights are on and there are signs of people inside. Looks like they are open. I'd hope so. Who the fuck would close the damn hospital? It's away from the worst of the slums, but you could hardly call this a nice neighborhood. It says Hospital Olean. Is this really the place we are looking for? It's an automatically opening double door. Could this be the Snatcher maintenance facility? Doubt. Strange cries can be heard coming from the building. Oh. Covered with heavy metal screening. Probably so that people don't jump out. Animal droppings can be seen in several places on the road and sidewalks. Well, that's not indicative of anything in particular. It could be just people walking their dogs here. Neon sign appears different from the one in Little John's memory. Is this really the hospital that we saw? They seem to be using pressure plate sensors rather than more modern infrared. In other words, things haven't changed much since they opened. Must have been here for a while. Doesn't smell like a hospital usually does. It's more like the smell of filth. We can't know unless we go in. So let's do so. In we go, boys! And it's not quite the place you were looking for. It's looked like a veterinary. Is that a penguin on a leash? Seems to be like a waiting room. Oh yes. Appears to be a smaller establishment than I thought. Or maybe it's just got a lot of places to go inside which are not for people. Everybody is holding an animal of some sort. That appears to be one of those super memory parrots. People use these birds frequently now when they study foreign languages or have other sounds we want to record. It's a Magellanic Kobe penguin. They were developed in 33 as a breed which could thrive in tropical and temperate climates. He's doing kickflips? What the f... It's one of those humming dogs, you know, the ones that have had their larynxes modified to help eliminate sound pollution. That's awful! Poor bastard can't even bark. Ah yes, it is one of those pocket pets, popular among women as a combination pet and handbag. Oh god. They were created by splicing marsupial genes into common household animals. This one would appear to be one of the cat models. It's a fucking cat bag! Yo, what the fuck?